Today, we're diving into something I think we all want a little more of: mental clarity. We're going to break down the new science behind sharpening your focus and really boosting your brain health using strategies that are honestly super simple and powerful. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, this is a real challenge, right? Your phone is buzzing, emails are just piling up, and your attention gets pulled in a million different directions. So how in the world do you cut through all that noise to find some clear, sustained focus? Well, that's the big question we're tackling today.
So our journey to a sharper mind, it doesn't start with some fancy app or gadget. Nope, it starts right on our plate. Let's get into the first pillar: fueling your brain.
It really does all start here. You know, we often forget just how much our food messes with our mood and our energy. That classic afternoon slump or that random irritability you can't explain, so often it's just the result of these crazy energy spikes and crashes from sugar. A high-protein, low-sugar breakfast, on the other hand, is designed to stop that from happening, giving you nice, stable, steady energy all morning.
I love this idea. Think of every single meal as sending a direct message to your brain. So a lunch that's packed with protein and nutrients, that sends a signal like, hey, you've got everything you need to stay energized and focused. But a processed, sugary meal? Yeah, that sends a very different and much less helpful message.
What we eat has a direct line to our ability to concentrate. When your body is fueled up the right way, you're not constantly fighting off distracting cravings or battling those awful energy crashes. Your mind is just, well, it's free to stay clear and get stuff done.
And you know, making this change can be pretty simple. The source material gives some really practical tips. I love this one. Drink water first. Why? Because a lot of the time, thirst actually feels like a sugar craving. And get this, did you know that bad sleep can crank up those cravings by 40%? So getting those 7 to 8 hours is huge. These little changes really do build a powerful foundation for your mental clarity.
Okay, so we've covered the fuel. Now let's talk about the second pillar: actively training your mind.
Just like our muscles, our brains need a good workout. They absolutely thrive on being used, and active learning is one of the best exercises you can give them. And this isn't about, boring memorization. It's about really engaging with new ideas. Whether you're learning a language, tackling a complex subject with audiobooks, or even just trying a new hobby, you're literally building and strengthening pathways in your brain. This mental agility is every bit as important as the food we eat.
So we've talked about fueling the body and training the mind. Now let's explore the really cutting-edge piece of this puzzle: using modern neuroscience to tune the brain directly.
Okay, this is where things get really fascinating. Diet and learning are incredibly powerful, but they're indirect methods. So, what if you could work directly with your brain's own electrical patterns? Well, that's the next frontier in brain health, tech that's designed to literally tune our minds for better focus and wellness.
Now, to get this, we need to talk about a little molecule called BDNF. It stands for Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor, but you don't need to remember that. All you need to remember is that neuroscientists call it fertilizer for the brain. Why? Because it helps our brain cells talk to each other, which is absolutely crucial for learning, memory, and just feeling sharp.
So the million-dollar question is, how do we get more of that brain fertilizer? Well, the answer might actually lie in our brainwaves. Meet gamma waves. They're some of the fastest, highest frequency brainwaves we have. And what's so cool is that new research suggests that by encouraging these specific waves, we might also be able to support our brain's natural production of BDNF.
And this is where a tool called the Brain Song comes into play. It's designed to do exactly that. The process is actually super simple. You just listen to a specialized audio track and its unique sound patterns gently, guide your brain's own rhythm, encouraging it to shift towards those beneficial gamma frequencies.
And what's so remarkable is just how easy this is. We're not talking about hours of therapy or anything complicated. The whole routine takes just 12 minutes a day. That's it. It's a tiny commitment that leverages some incredibly powerful neuroscience.
So let's pull all these ideas together into one simple, actionable toolkit for a sharper mind.
It really all comes down to this three-part strategy. First, you fuel your brain with the right foods to keep your energy stable. Second, you train your mind with active learning to keep it sharp and agile. And third, you tune your brain waves with new tech to directly support your focus. Each pillar just builds on the others, creating this really powerful, holistic approach to your cognitive health.
We're living in this incredible time where science is giving us more and more control over our own mental wellness. From the food on our plate to the sound in our ears, the tools are more powerful and more accessible than they have ever been.
So the only question left is, what will you build with them?